Welcome to the Daily Current Affairs by Civics and IAS, where we try to discuss the top 10 important topics for the UPSC CSE Prelims for the day from the Hindu, the Indian Express and the PIB. Displayed a list of topics which we have chosen for today's discussion. The first article of the day says that Gaganyaan Jeevan, which is the first of 3 uncrewed test missions that will lead up to India's maiden human space flight, is designed to mimic end-to-end the actual flight and validate critical technologies and capabilities, including the human-rated launch vehicle Mark III, according to Unnikrishnan Nair, who is the director of the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. In this context, we'll talk about the Gaganyaan mission. See, the Gaganyaan project envisages demonstration of human spaceflight capability by launching a crew of 3 members to an orbit of 400 kilometers for a 3-day mission and bring them back safely to Earth by landing in the Indian sea waters. Furthermore, the success of this Gaganyaan mission will put India in an allied group of nations of US, Russia and China having human spaceflight capability. There are 2 main objectives of this mission. Firstly, to undertake the human space flights and then to further space exploration. Know that a modified version of the ISRO's most reliable launch rocket, which is the LVM-3, the 3-stage heavy lift launch vehicle, previously called the GSLV Mark III, is the launching vehicle of Gaganyaan. Now, the payloads will consist of a crew module where the spacecraft carrying the human beings will be there, and the service module powered by 2 liquid propellant engines. Furthermore, it will be equipped with the emergency escape and emergency immersion abort. Now, there is also an orbital module which will be orbiting Earth, comprising of the crew module and the service module. Now, what does this crew module comprise of? See, it is a habitable space with an Earth-like environment for onboard crew members. Also, it will consist of a human habitable module with a control system for the mission, crew communication, navigation, guidance and avionics system. If you have to look at the structure of the crew module, you can look at this points. Then what about the service module? See, it will be used for providing necessary support to the crew module while in orbit. Furthermore, it is an unpressurized structure containing the propulsion system, thermal system, power systems, avionics systems and deployment mechanisms. And also there is something called as a crew escape system to ensure that the astronauts are safe. Various in-flight abort the demonstrations of the crew escape system have been included. So, talking about the human-rated LVM-3, see, it is a 3-stage vehicle with a 110 core liquid propellant stage and a strap-on stage with 2 solid propellant motors, each with 200 tons propellant. Furthermore, the upper stage will be cryogenic fueled with a propellant loading of 25 tons. Moving on to the second article, it says that the Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Friday highlighted the significance of Siliguri Corridor as a crucial link to the northeast India and said that the presence of the Shastra Bhal in the area came as an assurance to the entire country. In this context, we'll talk about the Siliguri Corridor. So the Siliguri Corridor, also called the Chicken's Neck, is a narrow stretch of land located in the West Bengal that connects India's northeastern states to the rest of India. At its narrow west, the corridor is just 17 kilometers wide. Significantly, it borders Nepal, Bangladesh and Kingdom of Bhutan. Furthermore, the corridor extends from Darjeeling, Jalpaiguri and Terai areas of the West Bengal towards the northeast. Also, the Siliguri Corridor is strategically important and highly sensitive territory, as it remains the only bridge between the 8 northeastern states of India and the rest of the country. Now, what is the geopolitical significance of it? See, here the neighborhood first and Act East policies intersect. Furthermore, it connects the Association of the Southeast Asian Nations to the Bay of Bengal Initiative for the Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation and the Southeastern Association for Regional Cooperation. Therefore, this is in a sense where the Indo-Pacific begins. Significantly, in Siliguri, the National Highways Authority of India's Golden Quadrilateral will connect to the Asian Highway Network and future BIMSTEC land connectivity initiatives. Then, with respect to connectivity and logistics, firstly, the infrastructure development, where the border roads and airstrips are being developed. So, the construction of India-China border roads and development of advanced landing grounds. Then, with respect to regional connectivity, Northeast India connectivity projects are being done. Then, look east transnational initiatives like the BIMSTEC and BBIN to reduce the dependency on the Siliguri Corridor. And lastly, proposed alternatives include connectivity via Bangladesh and sea route. Now, talking about the key transportation features, these are the with respect to railways, then these are with respect to roadways and also the airport and international trade agreements. Then, with respect to the security, see the border forces deployment is there, where with respect to India-China border, Army and Indo-Tibetan border police are there. Then India-Nepal-Bhutan border, where Sahastra Seema Bal are being used. Then India-Bangladesh border, where the border security force is providing services. And lastly, the corridor is also patrolled by Indian Army, Assam Rifles and state police forces. The third article of the day says that with data use increasing year on year, India's undersea cable network is growing. So, two new cable systems have set up to be launched in the coming 3 months. The India-Asia Express and the India-Europe Express, both connecting India with additional internet links to the two continents. Furthermore, this comes even as India takes a more active role in discussions around submarine cable security and resilience. So these new cable systems are IAX and IEX, where both the cables are owned by Reliance Jio with strategic investment from China Mobile. Now, if you have to look at the specifications, the India-Asia Express, which is the IAX, connects China and Mumbai with Singapore, Thailand and Malaysia. Then India-Europe Express, which is the IEX, connects Chennai and Mumbai with France, Greece, Saudi Arabia, Egypt and Djibouti. Then the cumulative length of it is over 15,000 kilometers. But why is this significant? See, it bolsters internet links between India, Asia and Europe and adds to the existing network of undersea cables landing in Mumbai and Chennai. Now, what are the strategic and geopolitical implications of it? Firstly, it reflects the India's ambition to becoming a strong maritime cable network player. Know that the focus areas include the Bay of Bengal and the South China Sea. Significantly, it supports India's defense strategy to enhance resilience against physical damages and cyber attacks. But there are security concerns also. 3 submarine cables connecting India to West Asia and Europe were disrupted in the March, causing temporary bandwidth issues, but mitigated through alternate routes and domestic data centers. Notably, the emphasis is on creating a stable domestic network to buffer against future disruptions. Also, there is global participation and initiatives are taken with respect to it. Firstly, talking about the international advisory involvement, the Telecom Secretary Neeraj Mittal is part of the international advisory body for the submarine cable resilience. Notably, the focus is on ensuring stability and resilience for key internet services within India. Then, with respect to regional connectivity, the Bangladesh connection, where the Bangladeshi government recently paused the plans to sell bandwidth to Northeast India. So, minimal impact of India as the Northeast is already served by fiber optics laid on Power Grid Corporation of India's transmission lines, offering sufficient capacity for current needs. The next article says that to ensure that rejected and expired food items are not being rebranded and sold for public consumption, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India has directed all licensed food manufacturers and importers to submit quarterly data on such foodstuffs through an online portal. In this context, we'll talk about the FSSAI. See, it is an autonomous body established under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of the Government of India. So, the FSSAI has been established under the Food Safety and Standards Act of 2006, which is a consolidating statute related to food safety and regulations in India. So, the vision is to build a new India by enabling citizens to have safe and nutritious food, prevent diseases, and lead a healthy and happy life. And the mission is to set globally benchmark standards for food, encourage and ensure that food businesses adhere to these standards, adopt good manufacturing hygiene practices, and ultimately enable citizens to access safe and right food. So, what are the functions of the FSSAI? See, FSSAI is responsible for protecting and promoting public health through regulation and supervision of food safety. So, it lays down standards and guidelines in relation to articles of food and provides for licensing, registration, and accreditation for the food business operators. So, anyone selling or importing food in India needs a food license issued by the FSSAI. Furthermore, FSSAI also directly monitors the compliance of food regulations, especially in the area of food imports to India. Then the FSSAI officers carry out food import controls and ensure that they contain no harmful ingredients. To do this, they send selected test products from the import to accredited laboratories for inspection. Significantly, FSSAI is also responsible for accreditation of the food testing laboratories throughout India. Furthermore, the FSSAI is responsible for the food certification in India. The next article says that as the state finance ministers and central converge in Jaisalmer for the 55th Goods and Services Tax Council on Saturday, there is likely to be a renewed focus on the lowering the tax burden for people by reducing taxes on mass consumption items such as food delivery services, insurance premiums, bicycles, and packaged drinking water. In this context, we'll talk about the relevant aspects. Firstly, talking about the GST Council. See, it is a constitutional body responsible for making recommendations on issues related to implementation of the goods and services tax in India. Furthermore, it was set up to simplify the existing tax structure in India, where both center and states levied multiple taxes, making it more uniform across the country. Then if you have to talk about the constitutional provisions related to it, the 101st Amendment Act of 2016 paved the way for the introduction of GST. Furthermore, the Amendment Act inserted in a new article, which is the 279A in the Constitution, which empowers the President to constitute a GST Council or by an order. So, the members of the Council include Union Finance Minister, the Union Minister of the State of Finance from the Centre. Also, each state can nominate a minister in charge of the finance or taxation or any other minister as a member. The next article says that the government is implementing a National Agriculture Market eNam scheme, where an online trading of agriculture and horticulture commodities is done for transparent price discovery for farmers for their produce through competitive online bidding system. In this context, we'll talk about the eNam. See, it is an online trading platform for agriculture commodities in India. Know that it was launched on April 14th of 2016 and is completely funded by the Government of India. Furthermore, the Small Farmers Agri-Business Consortium acts as the lead agency for implementing eNam under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. So the vision is to promote uniformity in agriculture marketing by streamlining the procedures across integrated markets, removing the information asymmetry between the buyers and sellers, and promoting real-time price discovery based on actual demand and supply. But the mission is the integration of APMCs across the country through a common online market platform to facilitate pan-India trade in agriculture commodities, providing better price discovery through transparent auction process based on quality of produce along with timely online payment. So the Digital Award, with respect to Digital India Award of 2022, the Ministry of Agriculture's Electronic National Agriculture Market Program received the Platinum Award, which is the first in the Digital Empowerment and on Citizens category. Now, what about the features of this portal? See, it will enable farmers to showcase their products through their nearby markets and facilitate traders from anywhere to quote the prices. Furthermore, it provides a single window services for all APMC related services and information. Know that this includes commodity arrivals, quality and prices, buy and sell offers, and e-payment settlements directly into farmers' accounts among other services. So using the eNam service, licenses for the traders, buyers, and commission agents can be obtained from state level authorities without any precondition of physical presence or possession of a shop or premises in the market yard. Also, this eNam is designed and implemented to benefit all the stakeholders, who are the farmers, mandis, traders, buyers, farmer producer organizations, processors, and exporters. The next article says that the Department of Health and Family Welfare of the Government of India provides technical assistance and financial support to the states and union territories across the country, including in deprived areas, under the National Program for Prevention and Control of Non-Communicable Diseases as part of the National Health Mission. In this context, we'll talk about the relevant aspects. See, firstly, talking about the non-communicable diseases. See, they are chronic diseases that are not transmissible from one person to another. So, taking this definition into account, the NCDs may thus include wide spectrum of medical disorders, both acute and chronic, like the cancer, diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular diseases, and stroke, chronic kidney diseases, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases and asthma, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and gamut of other diseases. Furthermore, the non-communicable diseases are caused by a confluence of genetic, physiological, environmental, and behavioral factors. Now, moving on to talk about the National Program for Prevention and Control of Non-Communicable Diseases. See, it is being implemented under the National Health Mission across the country. Significantly, it was launched in 2010 with a focus on strengthening infrastructure, human resource development, health promotion, early diagnosis, management, and referral. So with respect to the management under the NPCCDS, NCD cells are being established at national, state and district levels. For program management and NCD clinics are being set up at district and community health centers levels to provide services for early diagnosis, treatment and follow-up for common NCDs. Now, what are the objectives of the program? See, firstly, health promotion through behavior change with involvement of community, civil society, community-based organizations, media and development partners. Secondly, screening, early diagnosis, management, referral and follow-up at each level of healthcare delivery to ensure continuum of care. Thirdly, to build capacity of healthcare providers at various levels for prevention, early diagnosis, treatment, follow-up, rehabilitation, IEC or BCC, monitoring and evaluation and research. Then to strengthen the supply chain management for the drugs, equipment and logistics for the diagnosis and management of at all healthcare levels. Then monitoring, supervision and evaluation of program through proper implementation of uniform ICT application across India. And lastly, to coordinate and collaborate with other programs, departments or ministries and civil societies. The next article says that the Ministry of Heavy Industries under the Scheme for Enhancement of Competitiveness in the Indian Capital Goods Sector has set up 4 Smart Advanced Manufacturing and Rapid Transformation Hub, which is the Samarth centers, namely IITD AIA Foundation for Smart Manufacturing of IIT Delhi, Center for Industry 4.0 Lab Pune, I 4.4 India at the IISc Bengaluru, and lastly Smart Manufacturing Demo and Development Cell, which is the CMTI Bengaluru. In this context, we'll talk about the Samarth scheme. See, the scheme for capacity building in textile sector, which is the Samarth, is a demand-driven and placement-oriented umbrella skilling program. Now, why is it significant? See, it aims to incentivize and supplement the efforts of the industry in creating jobs in the organized textile and related sectors, covering the entire value chain of textiles and excluding spinning and weaving. There are 3 main objectives of it. Firstly, to provide demand-driven placement-oriented skilling programs. Secondly, to incentivize industry efforts to create jobs in organized textile and related sectors. And lastly, to promote skilling and skill upgradation in the traditional sectors. Know that the Ministry of Textiles is the nodal ministry for it. The last article talks about the Kisan Kavach, which is the Bharat's first anti-pesticide bodysuit. See, the purpose of it is to protect farmers from the harmful effects of pesticide exposure. Know that it is developed by the Brick Instem of Bengaluru in collaboration with the CPO Health Private Limited. Furthermore, it employs advanced fabric technology, which is the nucleophilic mediated hydrolysis, where the covalent attachment of nucleophiles on the cotton fabric deactivates the pesticides on contact. Talking about its specifications, see, it is washable and reusable, so can last up to 1 year, and it's very affordable, which is priced at 4,000 initially to reduce as the production scales. Now, what is the significance of this innovation? See, firstly, it addresses a critical gap in protecting farmers who make up 65% of India's population. Secondly, it aligns with the policies like the Bio-E3 Biomanufacturing Initiative for the climate-resilient agriculture and sustainable development. Then, it reduces the exposure to pesticide toxicity and preventing severe health complications. So, in this video, we have discussed 9 articles in total for today. We'll be back again with another video tomorrow. Thank you.